Whatever it is, I'll do it. Just let me go, yeah?
What about a fuck? Might as well.
Okay.
Nah. I've got a better idea.
At the beginning of the 1980s in Britain, video nasties were a menace to society. In response to public outrage, fueled by scary newspaper headlines, Margaret Thatcher's newly elected Conservative government introduced the 1984 Video Recordings Act. All films released on video had to be given a rating by the British Board of Film Classification. However, some films were so shocking that they were simply banned. 1 year after the new law came into effect, a horror film was being shot entitled The Streetwalker. But it was never completed, and the reels of film were placed in a storage basement where they lay forgotten for over 2 decades.
Found the torch. Okay, now it's this way and then down. Watch your step if you're coming down this bit.
Okay.
And don't trip over that. Fucking hell. Oh, look at all this shit. This can take me forever, this. Right.
Place is a fucking dump.
Fucking is, isn't it? How the fuck am I supposed to inventorize all of this? Any suggestions as to where I should start?
At the beginning.
What the fuck are these? Dates, numbers. Streetwalker.
Me and James were on the same corridor in halls at uni together. James was always running about with a camera. I mean, James was obsessed with film. That's all he talked about.
Did you see that?
See what? Oh man, that is disgusting.
Dead as a motherfucker. Get in the bag. Here we go. Job's a good one.
That's fucking awful, mate.
It's just a rat, mate.
We all had childhood dreams, usually forgotten by the time we grew up, where we dreamt that we would be rock stars, or famous footballers, or brain surgeons, or whatever it was that caught our imaginations. James's imagination was captured by the movies. Ever since he saw E.T. when he was 8 years old, James looked at his parents and declared, "I want to do that." And so James set out on his quest, blissfully unaware that the odds of success were stacked against him. Thousands of people each year want to enter the world of filmmaking as actors, writers, producers, as well as directors. Most will eventually have to give up when the reality of needing to earn a proper living snuffs out their dreams and they have to go back to their day jobs. James would not let reality interfere with his dreams.
If I'd have known where it was all going to go, I'd have gotten as far away from it as possible.
Yep. Scene 17A, take 2.
You didn't tell me about the baby.
Wake up, relax, cut.
James was obsessed with film.
He really wanted to complete this project. It was like a life or death kind of situation.
Home Crash nearly died. We all nearly fucking died.
Madness can take over. There's always a line, and after you cross that line, there's no way back.
I will get this ending sorted. Who's
This is the story of James R. Parker's struggle to make it in the film business and how his childhood dream turned into a living nightmare.
But a wise man once said that nothing that is worth doing is easy.
James, you all right, mate?
You need three things to succeed in this business. You need talent, you need contacts, and you need luck.
He was 15 years old and he shot this movie and he was really serious about it. I guess that's how you learn, by making mistakes. That was James' philosophy. To make movies and learn the rules of storytelling by doing it.
What does your husband think?
I think he felt that after university, perhaps he should have got what he called a proper job.
I remember him as a quiet boy. He used to keep himself to himself, really. He had a dark side, like most people. He hid it quite well, actually. Except there was this one incident on a shoot. James was left guarding the camera equipment one time. We forgot about him. He must have been stuck in the middle of nowhere for about 4 hours. I'll never forget his eyes when he looked at me. He was holding in so much anger.
Now, my show reel shows my talent. Cut there.
Before he could become a film director, James knew he had to start at the bottom rung of the ladder.
That's how the idea of the documentary came about. Me and him decided to shoot a fly on the wall about British film industry. James would be seeing it from the inside as a runner.
Marcus and James contacted numerous production companies to let them film in their offices. Only one would consider it.
This is the Portland Pictures production office. This is Henrietta, she's Mike's PA.
Well, the film industry attracts the kind of person that's got a heightened sense of ambition in them.
Dorothy Thistle over here, she is the development assistant. There's your change.
Thanks. Executive.
Sorry, development executive.
Extreme personalities, a creative stew of sorts.
Come on, Twinkle Phone.
Hello, Portland Pictures.
It causes friction, and that can be very good, in fact, for creativity, but less good for a well-balanced psychological state of mind.
Yeah, it's a funny old thing, the film business. Lots of egos jockeying for position. I mean, my main advice to James will be keep his head down.
Is James doing well here as a runner, do you think?
Yeah, he's doing very well. He's a good egg. Good kid.
Didn't matter who you were. I mean, you'd have a rough time with Dorothy.
The whole fucking thing's wrong. Look, just do it again.
Why the fuck are these files still here?
I'm dealing with it.
I suppose my bark's louder than my bite, as it were.
It's still on for tonight. 8 o'clock.
You are a fucking liar. How dare you? I tell you what, fuck you. You can fuck
You gotta
off.
keep kicking asses, otherwise people sit around on them, don't they?
It's not conducive to a good working environment when there's so much pent-up aggression.
Who has fucked with the photocopier? Chop chop shit face.
Bike's on its way, Dorothy.
Come on.
Thank you. Message for you.
The cliche is you can work your way to the top, but that's not true. You know, it's not just a question of hard work.
This one's fucked.
Right, I'm sorry.
Do it again.
Yeah, okay. I just managed to cut myself while filing. It's such a dangerous profession working in an office.
You have to be ruthless. Hustle.
Shit face.
Dorothy wasn't the sort of woman to suffer fools gladly, but I think she was a bad person.
Do you think James likes being called shit-faced much?
Listen, mate, I've been called a lot worse things than shit-faced in my time. You just have to take it. It's a tough industry, it's just how it works.
Jesus.
Giving me weird
Take
messages.
it downstairs. Do it downstairs.
All right.
You say it's tough. How are you going to cope with a baby on the way?
Just because I'm up the duff doesn't mean I can't work, you sexist northern twat.
He was at a busy production company and he could use that as a stepping stone to getting his own films produced.
Fucking hate this job.
He wanted to produce, write, direct.
James had huge ambitions. Now, that's dangerous in the sense that it can make some people do desperate things.
How do you think James is getting on here, Dorothy?
He's doing very well.
Just a minute. That's not fair. Now, fuck your lawyer. And fuck you.
James looked up to Mike and what he'd achieved as an independent. Mike was a kind of mentor figure for James. You know, you caught his eye, you go far was the feeling. And James was desperate to be noticed.
Get me a salt beef sandwich from the galley.
Trying to make myself indispensable. Get rid of some of the crap from downstairs. Fuck, it's a shithole down there.
What's your purpose?
Well, for a start, it gets me out of the office, which means it gets me away from Dorothy. And secondly, I've got to make an inventory for Mike. Consists of going through all the old reels of film and cataloguing what it is that they've got.
James tried to get into film school several times, never made it.
After uni, when I went off and did a film course, he went straight into work with production companies as a runner. I never thought he'd be jealous of me going to film school. I just think he just wanted to know that he could get into film school if he wanted. Fuel his ego type thing.
Not being paid as a runner, James was still living at home with his parents.
He always felt that he perhaps should have done something a little bit more stable with his life.
I don't know, he just treats me like a kid, and I was just like, he's never achieved anything in his life. And my mum tries to talk to him, but he doesn't get it. He just doesn't understand.
Can't keep blaming other people for your problems, right?
James started to keep a video diary. He said, to keep track of events.
This is my video diary. If anybody other than me is watching this, then please stop. This is private. You've been warned.
I guess it was therapy for him.
Life is short and you only live once. My dad goes on, he doesn't want me to take risks and everything, but what's life if you don't take some risks? 'Cause it's not the type of life I want to have.
James was making his own road as he went along. And people like that, who want something special that badly, I mean, they have to take a diversion from normality.
You've got to go for what you want to go for. Do what you want to do. You know, before some big fucker with a hammer comes and hits you on the head. I've just been given an ultimatum. I either quit the film business and get a proper job, or I move out. And then I got really angry when he turned around and said that he was embarrassed when he spoke to his friends about me because their kids have gone off and they've got proper jobs and they've got money to put down on a property and they've got kids on the way and they're good citizens. They've chosen the path that's well trodden. They're clones of their parents. They're just going to work, procreate, then retire and die. And I'm trying to do something different. I'm trying to do something special.
As instructed, he delivers a list of items in the storage basement to Mike.
Well, shouldn't you guys be having fun on a Friday night at your age?
I'm just typing up the inventory.
Good. Streetwalker. I want you to get the materials together, report back to me what it's about, all right?
Sure. Thanks, Mike.
That's good, isn't it?
I've changed my mind. I want 20 quid.
We agreed on 10.
Changed my mind.
Okay, 20. But only if you take your top off. Right. Ready to go again? Like I showed you? And action.
I'm excited. It's like finding hidden treasure.
The Streetwalker. I kind of regret the day I ever heard that title.
This film was actually what went through the camera back in 1985. Weird sort of morbid way. It reminds me of the way an image is burned onto the retina when you die. And this is thousands of images. Death at 24 frames a second.
Isn't that Goddard?
No, Goddard said film was truth 24 frames a second. I was trying to make a point.
Sorry, what was your point?
Forget it.
Yeah. It's a bit too violent for me. It was never my cup of tea at all. That's fucking sick, man. How'd you fucking stop it?
James was good at creating his own opportunities, but it was difficult to see how he could turn the discovery of the streetwalker to his advantage.
So what's the story?
The eponymous streetwalker stalks the street of London looking for gullible, impressionable young girls who've come to London for fame and fortune and all the rest of it. He claims that he is a film director. He lures these young women to his apartment with promises of an audition. Once he gets them there for this fake audition, he locks them into this soundproof room that he's got specially made inside his apartment. And then he drugs them, he tortures them slowly, keeping them alive for as long as he can. Then he kills them and he dissolves them in an acid bath. So it's your standard horror movie type stuff. Then he meets this girl called Catherine. Catherine's the first one of his potential victims anyway, that has actually approached him, and he's caught completely off guard by her.
Off guard? What do you mean?
I don't know, maybe she reminds him of his mother or something. God, I didn't think about that. I didn't think about the incest angle. That's a bit sick, really, isn't it? He doesn't feed Catherine the usual lie about being a film director, and they arrange to meet the following week. He stems his psychotic tendencies, although he's tempted a couple of times.
Listen. Take the flags.
Hey! What about the fucking audition?
When it comes to that following week, he goes to meet Catherine, he makes an effort, wears a suit, has a shave, but she doesn't appear. Then that sets him off and he goes on this massive killing spree, and his fridge starts to fill up with bits of dismembered bodies because he's killing his victims faster than he can melt them down in the acid. And then it just ends. There is no ending. What would the ending be, Marcus?
I don't know.
Celluloid is like an antique now. It's like a physical artifact of what was actually filmed. Reversal stock is different from ordinary film stock because a positive print isn't made from a negative, but you project the actual film that went through the camera. So this is, in effect, the only copy. Back in the old days, you get some wily-ass producer who would go around and find these incomplete films, and then they would buy the footage for next to nothing. Then they would shoot bits if necessary, use the existing footage, pad it out, then they would get themselves to a complete feature, and then they'd be able to sell it for a profit. And Mike would be up for that. All we need to do is get into an editing studio. So if I talk to JC, we can get in there and we can work out where we are. This is going to work. I know it. This is going to work.
You ever thought of being an actress?
What, me?
Like I was saying, I'm casting a movie at the moment.
Oh, God, no way.
If I give you the train fare home, would you indulge me?
You've been very kind so far.
The whole thing stinks of low budget.
I'm not saying that it's shit.
I'm not saying it's shit either, man. James came to me with a streetwalker. No way, I've got a client. And he was stuck. Come on, let's go. And he was really serious about it. Of course, there was a lot of work to be done just to rescue that film. And he had this glint in his eye.
Give this and I'll bring it straight back to you. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you very much.
So what is this streetwalker stuff all about?
Oi, shitface.
Well,
You stop talking about that streetwalker wanker crap and get me a cup of tea, please.
Yeah, okay, dispatch you. Cheers. Sure.
Another cup? Are you a believer, Susie?
I was brought up a Catholic, if that's what you mean.
No, I mean, do you believe in God?
I want to believe.
You ever thought of being an actress? Is that comfortable?
Yeah. I feel a bit lightheaded, though. I didn't have any dinner.
Probably the sleeping pills I put in your tea. Now, imagine all the horrible things I can do to you now that I've got you at my mercy. I want you to act afraid and confused.
Let's go home. I need to go home.
This room is completely soundproof, by the way.
No.
3-inch cavities, sound deadening insulation foam. It's very effective. So you can scream if you want. Can't summon the energy.
I need to go home, please.
Look, Susie, have you ever heard of the median nerve? It rolls down the length of your arm and ends in the fleshy part in the palm of your hand, between the thumb and forefinger. The Romans knew all about it. It's how they crucified people. The pain kept them awake and suffering for longer. You see, when you put a nail in here, it's like a bolt of lightning shooting up your arm. The agony can wake the dead, they say.
I'm ready yet? Or are we going to take all day?
Yeah, no, we're just waiting for James.
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, so I looked through the paperwork that Jonathan dug up on the project. Yeah, you bought the rights off him for 5K and he was supposed to finish the film with the money. Do you remember anything about it?
25 years ago.
Yeah, I know, but he would have pitched this to you. He must have pitched this to you.
Yeah, David Forsh. Yeah, well, I gave him the money and then we never heard from him again.
But it's so close to being finished, it wouldn't take a lot of work.
I think we should let sleeping dogs lie.
If I leave you the contract and to have a look over, will you at least think about it?
There's nothing to think about, really. You know. Anyway, you better get back to work. He reminded me of me sometimes when I was his age. And I tried to, you know, give everybody a chance.
Found it last night when I was logging. There. JC!
What?
Come and have a look at this.
What?
Okay, watch this, watch this. See it?
No.
I'll go back. I'll do it frame by frame. There he is. The enigmatic director of such films as The Streetwalker, open brackets, Abandoned, close brackets.
I don't know. He was just obsessed with the footage. I think he should have taken a step back.
This is David Forshaw appearing briefly in one of his early short films, years before his accidental appearance in The Streetwalker. In his early 20s, David was working at a London film studio when he had a mental breakdown and was committed to Bethlem Royal Hospital in Kent, diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. Apart from this photograph of David, sourced from the archives of the Institute of Amateur Filmmakers, we only have his short films and the Streetwalker footage to remember him by. It was during the filming of The Streetwalker on October 17, 1985, 2 weeks after leaving hospital, that David threw himself in front of an intercity train. He left no suicide notes. Perhaps it was for the best that James had no idea about the tragic history of the project he was now dedicating himself to. We will never know for certain if events would have taken a different turn had James been aware of these facts. James has an idea. Is The Streetwalker a snuff movie?
Can you untie me, please? Audition over, yeah?
It's a bit freaky, isn't it?
What's freaky about it?
Look, you better let me go, because if you don't, you're going to get it, Buster.
No one can hear you!
Maybe you want to concentrate on the edit, yeah?
Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to show you.
Just crazy talk.
So, is it a snuff movie?
All right, the thing about a snuff movie is it has to be made expressly for entertainment, but also to be distributed widely in order to make a profit.
The first use of the term snuff movie is in the 1971 book by Ed Sanders, in which it is alleged that the notorious Manson family made a film featuring real deaths, although no evidence has ever been found. Charles Manson and his followers had gone on a killing spree in Hollywood's Beverly Hills, murdering, amongst others, film director Roman Polanski's pregnant wife Sharon Tate. Other murderers have recorded their evil acts on video. However, these are not considered to be snuff movies because they were only made for the private viewing pleasure of the killers themselves and not intended for a wider audience. In 1995, the documentary film Executions showed the actual executions of various people condemned to death. But again, these deaths were not originally recorded for entertainment purposes. Therefore, snuff movies are widely considered to be an urban myth.
Whatever it is, I'll do it. Just let me go, yeah?
As long as it's a freebie.
Okay.
Nah. I've got a better idea.
Don't do this! Please don't do this! I'm begging you!
That was good for me.
So, is it a snuff movie?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Would it freak you out if I said I've been dreaming about it? You know, graves and stuff, and that dead girl.
James was always a bit of a spliff head, and some of that stuff can send you screwy, you know?
Too much imagination, out of control.
Bet JC thinks I'm nuts, doesn't he?
If he wants to believe something, he'll believe it. That's just James.
Fucking creative types.
I know he's like, Mr. Logic himself.
Snuff movies. It's just bullshit. If he keeps on going like this, yeah, it's just gonna be a fucking waste of his time and my time. Fuck off.
That night when he called me, it was like 4 in the morning.
I've just had a horrible nightmare.
And he was jabbering on about how he'd seen this dead girl in his dream.
She looked like she was dead, like one of the girls out of the Streetwalker, and I was trying to scream, and she got up and she started to crawl towards me on her hands and knees, and I felt her cold fingers on my skin, and she was reaching for my face going, "Help me, why don't you help me?" And I felt this scream rising up into my throat. And then she was gone and I was alone again, and then I woke up.
He was ringing me up so often, at all hours of the night. Even I was wondering whether I was just dreaming or not, you know?
I didn't get any sleep last night, so I've come back this morning because there's something I've got to check out. I think what happened was David Forshaw went to Mike, he sold the rights, he got the money to complete the ending. Nick, it's James, is JC about? Went away to film it, but it all went horribly wrong, and one of the actresses ended up dying. Can you let me in, Nick?
Yeah, okay.
Brilliant, thanks.
He was a bit weird. I mean, but he was normal enough. I didn't get to know him particularly well.
James becomes suspicious when he finds a piece of film where the camera stops, but the sound recording continues.
Cut. That was good, guys. Fantastic. I'm going to reset for the close-up. How's that for you, mate?
I think she's passed out.
James thought it was an outtake. We moved on.
I think he had a hunch. That's it.
David Forshaw couldn't deal with the guilt and the fact that he was in some way responsible, and subsequently he ends up killing himself.
That's quite a theory.
I just thought it was one of his weird ideas. I didn't believe it, not for a second.
Maybe you should tell Mike about it, just to keep him in the loop, you know.
I don't think that would be an outstanding career move on my part. The last thing I want to do is make him think that the project is in some way jinxed. All right, now that is the sound of the director's voice. And it seems like they have stopped filming, but they've carried on recording the sound.
James wanted to believe what he wanted to believe. That's all there is to it.
That's you, mate. You hear that?
No.
Can you turn the volume up for me, Leslie? If you can listen, guys, because right at the end. Someone said she's dead.
None of us knew what it was, and in the scheme of things, I don't think anyone gave it much thought.
Okay, you out.
You get this gut feeling that something terrible's going to happen, and you felt that around James.
I thought at the time it was just crazy talk, you know? I mean, I've been cutting for almost 15 years now, and I've sat through thousands of hours of video and film, from weddings to corporate videos, real-life executions. I mean, you name it. Anything can be faked.
It could be. Dead, it could be.
It could be dead. So what? James, how much closer are you from finishing your first cut?
Close.
But you would rather do this now.
Don't you think it's weird?
It's gonna end up the unfinishable, unfinished fucking horror film.
Hear me out.
Definitely something not right, and it's very unstable, the whole working environment.
You remember what we said about Snuff Movie?
JC was a guy that didn't recognise fact until it was proven beyond all reasonable doubt.
What are you here to achieve?
Make a movie.
Exactly, making a movie.
And in doing that, this has come up.
What is this? There is no this. There's nothing except what's going on in your head.
Like one of those stories you hear about Omen or Poltergeist or Exorcist, the idea of a cursed horror film, you know, the myth.
You're just gonna end up driving yourself insane. And you're driving me mad already, man.
Did you feel worried for James for his mental health?
No, not really. I mean, it's not like he was acting really, really crazy, you know? He was just being the full-on filmmaker he was. And, you know, crazy to succeed in this film business. And in that sense, it's okay. It's kind of expected. I'm sorry. I'm tired, okay? I've been editing 3 days non-stop. There's not enough sunlight in these fucking rooms.
Snuff movie or not, James still needs to convince Mike to go with his plan for the film.
I don't have enough footage to play with, Marcus. I'm gonna have to shoot some new material so I can make a proper ending.
Will Mike ever agree to that?
Well, my argument is it's like finding a piece of artwork in an attic, for example. You have to do restoration work on it if you want to sell it as a profit.
But I thought Mike didn't want to spend any more money on it.
He didn't, but if I can show him that it won't cost the earth, then I'm sure he'll go for it. It's because he'll be making money on a forgotten investment.
And now you're saying that you can't.
Mike, the problem is that it doesn't exactly have an ending.
Oh, well, fuck. Didn't you tell me that before?
Well, what I thought I could do was I thought I could re-edit it and use the existing footage and sort of create an ending.
So that's it then? We'll drop it.
James, he could have this mask, you know? So you can never actually tell if he was upset.
That didn't go very well, did it?
Marcus Grady continued to document his friend's struggle to succeed, keeping an objective distance that would later become increasingly uncomfortable to watch.
There was this sense that I got from him. This bitterness was creeping in. You could tell he was trying to hide it, but it was like this 800-pound gorilla sitting in the corner staring at him, this fear of failure. Yeah, I think he was scared of it.
Marcus seems very, very down on the whole project at the moment. He's down on the documentary, he's down on the Streetwalker, but I don't have the energy to be able to motivate him. I don't want to push him too hard. I'm sure he'll just find his way back. From this point on, it's just onwards and upwards.
We were moving away from the original concept of the documentary. It had become more of a showcase, how he was going to make it big. And the Streetwalker was kind of a shortcut to where he thought he ought to be by rights. Sort of a martyr complex.
The project was over before it had even started.
I think I can make it 1,000,000 times better if I can only rewrite the ending.
It's not gonna happen.
This is a movie rediscovered from the vault.
It's not having it, is it?
Creeps up on you. One little setback after another. These disappointments and tragedies.
Come on!
He hated the fact that this film, you know, that it had beaten him.
James would have assumed that these video diaries would remain private. Was this the real James R. Parker? Back in front of Marcus's camera, James reverts to his public persona. Ambitious, determined, and focused.
So suddenly remember the ending of Vertigo, where the James Stewart character, he loses the Kim Novak character, and then he runs into what he thinks is her doppelganger in the Streetwalker. The killer has lost Catherine, so he goes out and he tries to find a lookalike, and he auditions dozens and dozens of girls, and he eventually finds one who looks enough like her for his personal satisfaction. And then, I don't know what happens then, but the idea would be that he tries to recreate this relationship that he fantasized about having with Catherine. It's all to do with the relationship between the killer and the girl in the pub. It's all to do with Catherine. It's like that big cokehead producer in the 70s. He said, luck is when opportunity meets preparedness. And that's how I live my life. You make the most of every situation, and you exploit every opportunity. And that way you make your own luck.
So what brings you to London? City of dreams.
City of bullshit, more like. Sorry, didn't mean you. Not very chatty, are you?
Can I buy you a drink?
Yeah, sure.
What are you having?
Water and Coke, please. Oh, cheers, big ears. What about you? Mrs. kicked you out, did she? Sorry, mate. I didn't mean to be a pain.
That's okay.
I better be off.
No, stay. Another drink.
I just feel that if I put the brakes on now, it's just never going to start up again. Talking about finishing the unfinished horror movie. It's a way to get noticed, Marcus. It's a way to accelerate everything in my career.
So, Dad kicked me out of the house, but my very good friend Marcus Grady is letting me stay with him, so thank you very much, Marcus.
No worries. James, he can't spend his life running away.
Yeah, Mum put up a valiant fight to try and change my dad's mind, but he wasn't having any of it. But why do I want to be around such a negative atmosphere where they think I'm just chasing some sort of stupid dream?
James's mother tries to convince her son that he needs to come back home.
Yeah, he does. He wishes he had a normal son who was just a 9-to-5er. Yeah, well, he's not speaking to me, so that's that. Now we're going to keep going. I'm going to finish it.
Mike was still not backing James's idea to resurrect the Streetwalker. Would James finally give up on this avenue to get himself noticed?
Who knows what goes on in the minds of people when they're desperate?
Refusing to contemplate failure, James doggedly plans the shoot for his new ending.
I appreciate you being really busy and all that, but I really need some help. Mum's persuaded me to get Dad over so that I can try to explain to him basically what it is that I'm trying to actually achieve. You should be in a few minutes, but I'm not convinced this is going to go well. I'll pay it back. We'll work something out.
How are you going to pay it back, you idiot?
No!
You're thousands of pounds in debt.
What one for me?
Bye.
Mate, maybe you should talk to him.
That's all right, I'll go away.
James was blinded by his desperation to get ahead at any cost. Was the presence of Marcus's camera allowing James to forget that this was real life?
Oh! It was not dead when that first car went over. Come on, oh, come on. Nice.
As dead as the girls in the street walk.
Obviously not a lot of blood in a pigeon. Hello, Portland Pictures, how can I help you?
James continues to work hard at the production office. Unpaid work experience placements are seen by the industry as an excellent way for ambitious people to get their foot in the door. Unpaid runners like James are also a godsend for cash-strapped independent production companies who can barely survive on their meagre production fees and a few handouts from the European Union and the National Lottery. But for James and thousands of other runners like him, feelings of being exploited are outweighed by the promise that one day they may end up getting their break.
Hello, Portland Pictures. Hello, Portland Pictures, how can I help you?
Here's a very large zip.
Will you get out of my face, please?
But if hopes of getting ahead begin to fade, then a quiet resentment can slowly start to build up, threatening to spill over at any time. Happily for James, all his hard work pays off, and he has made the in-house runner on a permanent basis. More importantly, he manages to finally persuade Mike to let him write his new ending.
Who is this, Catherine?
She's the girl that the killer's obsessed with, so he goes out and tries to find a girl who looks exactly like her after she kind of leaves. It's very Hitchcock, sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah.
You better get your story straight before you talk to Mike about it.
So what's the plan then?
The plan is to present the script for the new ending of The Streetwalker to Mike.
What makes you think Mike will run with it?
Because Mike is a businessman. In a nutshell, the killer finds this Catherine lookalike and he turns her into the object of his desires, sort of a Hitchcock Vertigo type thing.
And what happens next?
He finds a letter that she's written to her fiancé telling him that she's actually pregnant, and then the killer just goes mad and butchers her.
What happens to the baby?
It dies.
It's a bit of a downer.
We can market this as, you know, the lost horror movie. You see it viral on the internet, you can drum up interest for it that way. I think it'll work. I mean, it's got creepy origins, you can really sort of sell it on that.
I'll give you half the money, and that's all I've got. I decided to give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, the lad had tried his best.
Well done, mate.
Thank you.
So how are you going to find the rest of the money?
Credit cards, Marcus. Credit cards. That's what they're for.
You know, technically, you shouldn't really be doing that now. Should you?
Why? I thought it was lunchtime.
It's 3 o'clock, genius.
Yeah, but I didn't take my lunch until...
Whatever. Get the script reports done.
I think there was some jealousy there, to be quite honest.
You forgot the sugar, mate.
All she wants is some compliant little lapdog who'll do all her chores for her, and I'm not having it.
You are a runner.
She's taking the piss.
It's about paying your dues, though, isn't it?
All she does is send me on errands to get her food and drink, and then gives me the scripts to read, and then I write the reports, and then she hands it in as her work, and it's not fair. It's just not right. I mean, if the whole industry is like this, then it's no wonder that it's full of no talent, fat-ass executives who would rather stab out their own eyes than actually do some fucking work and read a script. Very angry and frustrated now. Did you ever feel that James was being pushed too hard at work?
Maybe a little bit by Dorothy, but, you know, hey, that was her job. He was a runner. He'd got things to do.
And when you're done, a cup of tea would be nice.
Mike's given me this project, and he's fine with me devoting a certain amount of the working day to it, so should she.
From my perspective, he didn't seem to get any worse treatment than anyone else.
People want nice, happy, smiling runners, you know, who make tea and coffee for them and not some real human being.
Lunch.
Thank you. Has this got nuts in?
No.
For some reason, shitface, I don't trust you.
Thank you. I don't know, maybe she views me as some sort of competition now or something.
I mean, there are a lot of egos flying around.
Mike does not give a fuck about you finding some junk in the basement.
Dorothy Thistle, man. Fucking hell.
I need a runner, not a fantasist with delusions of Spielberg grandeur.
Maybe she's a bit jealous that Mike let you run with the project instead of her.
Maybe. Maybe. I mean, she has been really harsh recently. It's like she resents me or something because she wants me at her beck and call all the time.
Is he in danger of losing his job?
Mike seems to like having him around.
I mean, the lad worked hard.
He needs to do his job, as well as all this creative shit. We need to be able to rely on him in the day-to-day running of the company, otherwise, you know, as soon as the streetwalker thing dies on its arse, which it probably will, he'll be out the window.
As firelight and starlight combine, sing softly to me of a time that is free, where the mountains and rivers are mine. The sound of the hills are like music, a voice on the sweet summer. Words apart, they are a dim, did it.
You got a good pair of lungs on you.
Run out of breath.
Hello? Hi, Mum. Yeah, look, I'll call you back. Sorry about that. Joanne? Hi there. Shut you up, didn't it?
Even though James has better things to worry about, the idea that somebody died during the filming of The Streetwalker simply won't go away.
Rosa, I just wanted to get your opinion on camera. As you know, I found this incomplete horror movie from the 80s that had been apparently forgotten about until I found it and I started working on it. This guy, have a look. That guy, the guy whose reflection you can see, that's the filmmaker. And this guy, he is the actor who's playing the killer. So what I think is, they started making a movie about this psycho who goes around killing girls, and somebody ended up being killed.
Sorry. Sorry. It's the funniest thing, so thank you so much for cheering me up. I'm going to bed.
No problem.
If we'd have thought there was anything weird or untoward about it, then yeah, maybe we would have thought of it a bit differently. But not then. It didn't seem important.
James starts casting for his Catherine lookalike.
On the top, whenever you're ready, and action. Okay. Right. Oh, that's pretty good, I like that.
Like this?
All right. And action.
Is this okay? Like that?
It's not a bad likeness, really, is it? You're prettier.
Casting the role of the killer is the next step.
Now, because I can't find the original actor, and even if I did, he'd probably be way too old now, we're just going to use a stand-in.
Who?
Well, we need somebody with the same sort of physical build as the killer, so I was thinking of Jonathan.
Jonathan? My Jonathan? He's not a fucking actor.
Well, he doesn't really need to be. I mean, we're going to shoot him from behind. All we'll really see of him is his hands.
What does Jonathan say about it?
James had a zeal and, you know, it was catching. He made you think, well, fuck it, let's do it.
Finally in production, would James now be one step closer to making his dreams come true?
I was always happy to get involved, by the way. James's enthusiasm was infectious.
Scene 4, take 1.
Have you read the script?
Yeah, I read the script. And I don't know how he's going to pull off using Jonathan, who has never acted in his life, as the lead.
James convinced me that it would be easy and just went along with it. And I cut my hair off. Must be mad.
Who wants to watch a second-rate black and white horror movie that's been vomited back up from the 80s?
Hypothetically, if the film's a horse that's stuck in a field in some mud, do you run and get the tractor or do you run and get the shotgun?
Shotgun, Marcus, every time. And the ending with the baby is just so unnecessary.
Do you think the ending's too extreme?
No, I like it.
Yeah? Shocking?
That's
killing a pregnant woman, a baby dies?
Yeah, I think you should eat it afterwards.
If it were up to me, I'd put it right back where James found it.
Having got this far, James wasn't about to start listening to the misgivings of others.
Look, I've got a client at 9 in the morning coming in, so I'm gonna get some sleep.
Gave it to the concierge to post. Stupid mistake.
Once we've got it shut together, I think we'll make a really nice little movie.
Stupid mistake. Stupid mistake.
There. Good.
He presents the footage he has shot so far.
Scene 4, take 1. And action.
Yeah, I need the money. So what? Who doesn't need money?
Cut. We've got a couple more scenes to shoot, and then we're going to cut the whole thing together, we'll put music over the top of it. I'm really confident that this is going to work.
Well, it doesn't really matter what you think, it's what I think that counts.
But I've got half my money invested in this as well. I'm not going to waste it.
How about I supervise the rest of the shoot?
Is that necessary? I mean, we're going to be filming at weekends, you've got the baby to think about.
Yeah, I need her to keep her on if no.
That could be a problem, James.
No.
Although James was prepared to put a brave face on it, Dorothy's involvement in the project was going to prove to be the beginning of the end.
Now I want to show you where we're going to be shooting some of the new ending.
The location is 3 floors below ground level in a disused office building.
And in we go. So, as you can see, we have mocked up this room to look like the original set. Hey, guess what? What? You filming me, filming you.
James, we've got to get moving.
Okay, thank you very much. Jackie, my wonderful lady. Look, guys, I'm trying to create some fucking atmosphere here and you're not helping. I know we're all a bit stressed, I know it's all a bit last minute.
I think James is a bit stressed. Yes. Jackie's doing her 5 jobs brilliantly.
5 jobs at once. But now there aren't any
I'm doing my
headlines.
job. We'll see what's going on.
Absolutely.
And we'll see how he copes.
I was too busy filming the behind-the-scenes stuff, but there were ripples caused by people vis-a-vis how the scenes were being shot. But it got a lot worse after Dorothy got involved. It's easy to judge. I just thought let him get on with it, and then the proof of the pudding is in the tasting.
Do you think James is doing a good job?
He's doing the best he can.
He's learning fast.
Everything's in place, everything's connected. It's easy. But no, she's too critical. We're dubbing over it.
I'm going to have to report back to Mike my concerns about this because I think it's pretty tenuous. I'm not quite sure how it's all going to come together.
Just wait till you see, and I promise you, it'll be fine. It will all come together.
I had to take a word for it, of course, because I was in LA at the time of the shoot.
I'm not going to mess this up. This is my big chance. I've got my money invested.
All I'm doing is letting you know what my concerns are, so you're aware of that.
Noted.
I'd usually take them in a room and bang some heads together.
All we've got is the back of Jonathan's head.
So what about your parents? Do they know what you're up to?
Yeah, it's good. That's really
You
good.
sure?
Yeah.
You sure, Jay?
Yeah, it's good. Honestly, it's good.
Listen, mate, you're not going to make me look stupid, huh?
Oh dear.
All she's doing is picking holes and finding flaws before I've even had a chance to put this whole thing together.
Do you regret not handling the situation differently?
Well, no situation to handle. I mean, situations when people are screaming at each other. I mean, nobody was screaming.
I told you this place is completely sound.
Fuck you, fuck Catherine, fuck her.
Shut up.
Fuck Catherine. I hope she rots in hell. I hope the bitch is dead.
It's good, it's good. I'd love to go for a take, if everybody else is fine with that. Yeah? Scene 17A, take 2.
You didn't tell me about the baby.
Wake up, relax, cut.
And we just thought it was a short circuit, so we all started looking for the fuse box.
And you went here.
We've got a problem here.
Because of her asthmatic condition. I was immediately worried for Rachel. We had to get her out of there. It was very claustrophobic.
No, I told you
Just
everything.
sit easy, sweetheart, all right?
Okay. Here.
It's all right.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, here we go.
You're right there.
Right.
Nobody was exactly panicking at that point.
Who's locked door?
Who had the keys?
I don't know, who was the last person to open the door?
But we should have had a key for when we came in here.
You list to me the people who have been in the possession of the keys.
The mobiles were useless.
Guys, I haven't got any signal.
We knew nobody could hear us. I mean, we were really far down.
Hello?
Hello?
So when we saw the smoke, that's when the panic started.
Wait, I've got night vision on the camera, hang on. What? No, are you sure?
You just can't believe it's happening to you.
Everyone towards the doors. Don't panic.
We were all pretty much under pressure.
Marcus's camera runs out of power, but James continues to film with his camcorder.
Calm down, get down to the floor, get on the floor!
Unable to escape, Marcus tries to break the lock on the door.
I was running off instinct. I was just hitting him and hitting him. I didn't really know what I was doing.
It's really surreal when you're about to die.
A partition wall suddenly collapses.
I don't remember anything else after that.
They heard the sound of the wrench hitting the metal. That's what saved us in the end. The fire brigade found a junction box behind a plasterboard wall where the fire started.
The investigation that followed was inconclusive. Sabotage was suspected because the door was locked from the outside, but nothing could be proven. By this stage, the Streetwalker project, to a lot of people, certainly seemed to be jinxed.
The situation was untenable after that.
The project was over for me. I assumed it was over for everyone.
So after all that madness happened, James went into this weird funk.
We lost almost everything in the fire. I mean, we were all lucky to be alive, so no one really gave a shit about all that.
I don't think anybody can take the responsibility, other than the person themselves. And I mean, I'm sad, and it's an awful situation.
He was still worried about finishing the Streetwalker.
He watched the footage over and over for hours in my office. He was completely obsessed. He was like possessed.
Once again, James refuses to face reality and give up. He tries to edit together an ending using the footage that he has already shot. It is clear to everybody but James that the Streetwalker project is dead, and maybe Mike was right when he said, it's better to let sleeping dogs lie.
Looks nice.
There's a 24-hour porter and concierge service, so anything I need, you can order it and it'll be brought in.
You haven't told me your name yet.
You don't need to know my name.
What will I call you then?
Why?
What if I need to get your attention? What will I call you?
Just call. There's no one else here.
Okay.
These are the rules. There'll be no contacting anybody else or calling anyone outside, or the deal's off.
There's not going to be any funny business, is there?
Just stick to the rules and you'll be fine.
My dearest love, I have been earning loads of cash with this freak who likes to keep me as his pet. But don't worry, he's just a harmless fool, rich fool. When I've saved enough, I'll escape, and we can be together again, my sweet. The baby's fine. I can feel it growing inside of me.
Hey, what's happening?
I found your letter this morning. You gave it to the concierge to post. Stupid mistake.
No!
With over half of James's script still yet to be filmed, the streetwalker remains resolutely unfinished.
This thing's over, yeah?
Never say that. Don't say that.
I just hope that it's not going to be something that he's going to hold against me. I'd moved on by then, so it was a bot from the blue when Rachel called me.
Look, wait, Rachel, look, I know we've had a major shock, okay? I know it looks bad now. It was fucking scary. We were all scared.
After all she'd been through, he was still trying to get her to come back and reshoot.
Just reconsider for me, okay?
I'd had enough of his mental antics by then.
What are you doing?
I'm tired of this shit, man.
Don't put the camera down. Pick the camera back up. I'm not finished. Pick the camera back up.
No.
Dude, pick the camera back up.
No.
Dude, we're carrying on filming.
No. And carry on filming, do your own fucking thing. I'm done.
Fuck's sake.
I think he'd lost the plot and he was starting to lash out at everyone and everything and finding blame. He wanted someone to blame.
Fuck's sake.
Fuck! Marcus, you cunt!
Don't tell me that you're starting to have doubts of me now as well.
Oh, it's not about doubt, James.
It is. You don't think that I can actually pull this off? Look, Marcus, you're my friend. I need you to support me in this. I get enough of this crap from home. You're just thinking like everybody else is now. You're just joining in. You're just leaping on the fucking bandwagon. What? Have you been waiting for this to go tits up? And now that it has gone tits up, what, you want me to just move on and do something different so I can fuck that up as well?
No, that's bullshit.
No, look, come on.
No,
Look, have some fucking balls, man, right, okay? You've been waiting for me to fuck this up just so you can get some decent fucking material for your fucking documentary.
At the time, I was thinking James had made his own bed type thing so he could lie in it. I only felt guilty about it later. I mean, I was supposed to be his friend. I thought I could help. So I agreed to film it. And I was back being the cameraman again.
Yeah, I know she nearly died. I nearly died. We all nearly fucking died. But we didn't die, did we? She made a commitment when she accepted the fucking part.
Don't you think it's time you turned over a new leaf?
No! No, no, no!
Do you not think it's the drinking that's maybe affecting things a little bit?
Marcus, I'm just drinking to take the edge off, alright? The one thing that was going to get me nervous is just blowing up in my face. If I can't drink now, when can I fucking drink? And that is how you roll the spliff.
He kind of became this really resentful person.
I've recommended to him that he pull the plug.
Who fucking put you in charge? This is Mike's project. He entrusted it to me.
It's not good enough to be enthusiastic and hard-working and all that jazz. Once you reveal yourself as having an ego like the rest of them, well, that's it.
You push someone, you know, push, they go over the edge.
I've worked my arse off for this fucking company, and now you're all just fucking me over!
Well, it all happened so fast.
How fucking dare you talk to me like that? Calm the fuck down!
I won't fucking calm down!
Fucking hell! Jesus Christ!
There's a time and a place to lose it. And you can take out frustration in many ways. And the way James decided to take out his frustration was not appropriate.
You know, the coffee thing, you could see it. That was a symptom, if you like, of the pressure.
There's always a line, that after you cross that line, there's no way back.
Getting angry can be very good sometimes. It gives you focus. But you've got to learn to control the anger. That's what I told James.
We've all got those mistakes to make, you know. He just made a few massive ones.
Yeah, I need the money, so what? Who doesn't need money?
I have a proposition for you.
If you don't bend with it a little bit, life will break you.
I'd like to see him again, speak to him again, if not to try and just talk some sense into him.
So I called Rachel's agent this morning because I was finding it very difficult to get in contact with her. She stopped returning my calls and she stopped answering my emails, so I called her agency to see if they could get in touch with her on my behalf. And one minute you're here and you're living your life, and the next minute you're gone. And Rachel's gone, and all because of something so fucking stupid as an asthma attack. I mean, she made it through a fire in a basement, and she was trapped and she was choking to death and she couldn't get out. And she made it through that, and she got out and she was in hospital and she recovered and she was fine. And then she goes and drops dead in a fucking pavement because she doesn't have her inhaler with her, and there was nobody to help her, and nobody knew what they were doing, and the ambulance was late, and it's all fucked up. I mean, what kind of a God would let something like that happen? Fuck God. If you trust in something bigger, in something that's supposed to watch over you and love you, then you're a fucking moron. We're clinging on to a chunk of rock as it is flying through the universe, just waiting for something to take us out, and that's it. And that's what life is. It's short and it's fragile, and it ends so fucking quickly. And if you don't make your mark, and if you don't try to do something with it, fuck's sake.
And all he was bothered about was his stupid film.
Fuck this.
It just takes the right or wrong set of circumstances, of things going wrong little by little.
Just that fucking herd mentality of just going through life, just consuming and buying and fucking and then having kids, and then they have fucking kids, and the whole thing keeps going. All I wanted was a fucking opportunity. All I wanted was a chance to do something, to prove something. And yet nobody would give me anything except for Mike, and that's just fucked up now as well. And that's why I'm gonna make my own luck. I'm just gonna stay away from the fucking herd, because you're all just fucking cunts.
Calm down, mate.
Before you know it, you've crossed some invisible line.
Fuck that! Life is so much more than that. Life is important. You should try. You should fucking push yourself. My God, why does nobody know how fucking hard it is? I've tried and nobody would fucking help me. Fuck it. Fuck it.
Stop fucking filming!
Was there an element of wanting to get good material for your documentary that stopped you being too critical of him?
I wanted to do a good job for both of us. But then again, you know, there's always a point where you've got to turn around and say, is it worth it? Maybe I should have done that a lot sooner.
James, what's the matter?
Card's been rejected.
What?
Card's been rejected.
James's parents had tried to stop him from sliding further and further into debt. He had sunk his own money into the Streetwalker project, money that he didn't have, and now the bank had cut off his credit supply.
That's one guy being an arse, to be quite frank.
So if I could have gotten to him before he crossed that line. I know.
Fuck!
Oh no.
He's looking at me. He's fucking looking at me. He's fucking looking at me. He's fucking looking at me. Fucking cunt!
Yeah, your nose is bleeding.
So now my nose is fucking bleeding. Thank you to Marcus for distracting me.
Yeah, sit down.
Oh, fucking hell! think I'm gonna be sick.
Alright. Stay there.
I'm gonna be sick. Just leave me here. I'm alright. Just leave me here. I'm fine. Just keep rolling. Just keep filming, Marcus.
In the morning, James has disappeared.
James, he was always a good boy. He was a decent person. Sorry, I can't.
I put the whole thing behind me and hoped he was going to do the same thing. Then I got the package through the post.
Nothing that is worth doing is easy.
That wasn't my friend James anymore. He was way, way gone by that point. I don't know who that guy was.
The act of carrying out something using nothing but pure will. That is what sets me apart from the rest of you.
If I could dissuade him of what he did, obviously, I mean, I would do anything in my hands to.
A person who's susceptible to that paranoia can talk themselves into almost anything.
I just don't know how that person I once knew ended up doing what he did.
I always thought James was quite a normal sort of guy. But then...
I never expected James could do anything like that.
He also sent this letter. Dear Marcus, I hope you're well. I'm okay, but the nightmares haven't gone away. I must finish the streetwalker, and I've enclosed the fruits of my labour. It's a rough cut. This is a copy of the video he sent me in the package. Do you want me to play it now?
The human race is both repulsed and fascinated by violence.
Yep.
Most of us think of ourselves as calm and reasonable people. Contrary to popular belief, we are born violent. But as we grow up, we start to develop the part of the brain that allows us to control our aggression. Yet, crucially, how well this control mechanism works depends entirely on our experiences. This is where James would shoot the final part of his new ending for The Streetwalker, in the very place that he had found the original reels of film.
Stop it! Stop it!
This is going to help you look a bit more like Catherine.
I'm not gonna fucking do anything until you untie me. Okay?
I am in
Fuck is wrong with you? Oh!
Pain in the arm.
What?
I'm
No!
talking around with big shit, aren't you? Okay, now we get serious. This room is completely soundproof, so scream if you want. The project is not king, but the act of making something happen by sheer will.